Monday morning coffee. Good morning. How are you doing today? I started a little earlier today, 1 minute, just to make sure that people are getting their notification and you can start hopping on it. I'm really excited about the subject today because that is something which you need to understand if you want to start embracing the life that you truly want to live in your life, the life that you truly want to experience. You need to embrace the fact that what brought you here will not bring you where you want to go. So you're going to have to let your old and your present self die in order to embrace the new self that you want to create. And that is a concept. And I remember when I was in the past, one of my friends once was talking about death, and I was just, I don't want to talk about it. And it's just, why? That's just part of life. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. And I probably had a wrong approach toward death. But the truth is, you are dying every day. The old self, the old ideas, you need to let those ideas die if you want to start embracing the life that you truly want to embrace. So it is extremely important that you understand that death doesn't have necessarily a negative connotation. It's what it just is, and this is part of life. You're born, you arrive on this physical form, and you're going to leave this physical form. So death is just part of the process. But understanding that your approach or your understanding or whatever interpretation that you're getting of death can have a significant implication and influence upon the way you're going to live. Knowing and understanding and accepting that you're going to die will help you to start living properly. And I remember that I think it's what is his name? Tyson DeGrasse was talking about, the fact that you're going to die gives you all of this amazing power that every moment that you're living, you should live it with this joy and with this amazing gratitude, because you know that every moment, you cannot relive it. So in another word, if you think about it, every time you go to bed, are you letting yourself from yesterday passing on, and then you are moving into a new self when you are waking up in the morning, so you relive again? So there's a very interesting connotation on that. And as I was reading The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard, if you haven't had this book, by the way, you can read this and understand nothing what he's saying, because it's extremely deep. He's been studying this type of material for 25 years, and what he's writing, you can see that he's been thinking a lot and really deep about it. So if you don't understand it, don't worry about it. Just keep reading, and sometime you're gonna have some flash, and there's something that's gonna come which is gonna make a lot of sense to you. But I just want to read this passage, which basically brought me into this conversation this morning, where he said, "Just a moth, in his desire to know the flame, was willing to destroy himself. So must you, in becoming a new person, be willing to die to your present self." What is your thought about that? What is your thinking about letting your present self die in order to embrace who you want to become? Because what brought you here right now will not bring you to where you want to go. That is just a fact. Okay? What brought you here will not bring you where you want to go. Your present condition and circumstances, your present life is a result of the way you were thinking in the past. It's a result of the way you were in the past. But you need to reinvent yourself today, tomorrow, and the day which are coming if you want to become the person you want to become. And as Neville said, you need to start living from your objective. You need to start living from your goal and not thinking of your goal. And this part, and this is the power that we have with our imagination and the way we're thinking, is you can create that world around you even before that you start embracing and living that world. And it is so amazing and so powerful that this is something that I really encourage you to reflect on, and how that you can start creating that new person, that new you, so you can start living this life that you truly want to live. So I want to welcome everybody which is listening right now and watching right now. It's great to live behind us what we do not want anymore, right? You don't want to dwell upon things that hasn't worked for you. As a matter of fact, you should always be grateful for what you had, but then let it go. And that is a daily work, as a matter of fact. When you go to bed at night, are you grateful for that day? And are you looking to implement new things, new tools, new ideas into your day that is going to come? And it's in a way that is dying to your present self and start embracing that new self, that new person that you want to become. Thank you, Roger. That's indeed living. Roger is saying, I love the backdrop. Now that's living. That is something that you can create. All of us has the ability to create this, right? And I'm going to talk about like what I did during the weekend, which permit me, and we created that. So now we can enjoy and embrace this lifestyle, and that's truly the way everybody should live, right? Like John saying, like, very in sync, so necessary to let go and trust. Probably is in sync because like that's a little bit what he's been thinking right now, is you got to let go of the past. You got to let go of who you were if you want to start embracing who you are. I see Stephanie Mill is here, which she used to do another work, and now she's embracing a new career. Well, that new career is not related at all with the old career she used to have. So sometimes we get into a new career and we're getting into that career with the same mindset that we were with the old career. And sometimes those two mindsets do not match at all. So you got to let go of the past. You got to let go of that person that you used to be and really embrace that new person that you want to become. And if you do so, what you're going to realize is there's new character that you can have and implement into your person. There's a new vision that you can implement into your person, and that makes you a different person and a more complete being, which, by the way, this is what everybody should strive for. It's to become better and better every single day. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. So you need to continue to grow and to add more tools into your life. So I want to wish welcome to everybody which is tuning in right now. So this weekend we treated ourselves. I invited my wife after that, like I was gone for Mother's Day and for training and going back home. When I came back, I was like, I'm gonna treat you. I'm gonna bring you like to a nice resort, and that's what we did. And basically, we did something that basically we would have never done before. But again, this is the lifestyle that I always envisioned. This is the type of life I always wanted to have for me and my family. And because my daughter now is in the age that she doesn't have to follow us everywhere, so we went there and we just treated ourselves. And it is so good to be able to do what you want, not based on budget, but based on what you desire. Now, let me share this with you, because a client of mine, I was talking to him, and he was like, I see you, and I see, like, your choices of places and your choice of hotels and the way you travel well now, and it's changed since I know you and since I've been working with you. And it was like, I want to do the same thing, but I wonder if it's a question like, should I wait that I can afford it, or like, what's the key there? And this is a very important question. Is, do not put yourself in jeopardy because you want to live a great lifestyle, right? Don't spend money you don't have. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take risk. And this is where the fine line is. Bonjour, mama. This is where the fine line is you've got to stretch yourself. So for instance, let's say that normally you rent rooms which are $150 a night, right? And you would like to treat yourself. So what you're going to do now is you're going to rent a room which is $300 or $400 a night, because you can afford it. If you're doing this and you don't have the money and you put it on credit card, and what it does, it just creates stress. Now you are going against what this stretching means. But if you can afford it, and it's just that, I'm going to use this word by lack of a better word, but it's just because you are cheap normally into those things. It's just a bad. I know I prefer like going to the restaurant instead. But you can't afford it. I highly recommend you to spend the $400 a night for that room, and to experience the difference into how your stay is going to be. So what's happening there, you're not overspending. You can afford it, but you're spending differently. You're pushing, you're stretching, you're trying something new. And this is where that you will get new feedback. And you're going to start moving toward the life that you want to have. And most likely what's going to happen is, because you're doing this, there's more that's going to come. There's going to be a new client. There's going to be a new opportunity that's going to come. A lot of people that wants to work with me, they say, yeah, Marc, I can't afford that. No, I don't believe it, because you have your car, you have this. I mean, you have like multiple things that you can afford, but you do because that's what you want. So let's start with the first investment. And as you're making that first investment, what's happening normally is you're starting moving things. And because you're investing in yourself, and because you're feeling great, now all of a sudden things start shifting. A new client's coming, a new opportunity is coming, a new job offer is coming. So you're starting moving things in a way that money is coming, opportunities are coming. So that is truly what is stretching yourself. Okay, and that is truly what I want you to experience. That's what I want you to do. but you don't overspend. You don't spend money that you don't have. You don't live on credit, because if you do so, most likely you're going to put yourself in jeopardy, because you haven't fixed your paradigm. You haven't fixed your money paradigm. But stretching yourself, which most of the people which have been working with me, they told me they couldn't afford it. They couldn't pay for my service. Yet, after a month or two, now all of a sudden they're starting having unexpected income. They started having unexpected new clients. They're starting having all kind of different situation, which is helping them to continue moving toward the place where they want to go. So I've got some comments here. I don't know if that makes sense. I love that. Alice is saying, don't cheap yourself into a discounted version of life. Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. You don't want to live a discounted life. And you don't want to be cheap on yourself, which most people, that's what they do. And it's really funny. I had once a conversation with someone, and we were talking about like working together, and then he's telling me, I don't have a lot of money and and then I ask him, so are you up for doing this? And then he's giving me all kind of reasons why that's not the good time. So it's like, but like, give me the price. You don't need the price. You don't need the price. He's like, why? Because you said you're not ready. Yeah, but I want to know the price. No, you don't need a price. You're shopping a price. That is not what I'm offering here. I'm offering you to change your life. So if you want a price, you can go anywhere else. They're going to give you prices. I don't give prices. I don't need to give you the price because you're not ready for it yet. Yeah, but how do I know that I'm going to be ready if I don't know the price? Well, when you're ready to change your life, you will find the money. That's never a problem. Finding the money is never a problem. So if you're shopping price, you're cheaping your life out. So I love the comment that Alice brought in. Like, you should work at seeing what can you bring in your life that's going to make your life meaningful. Like Edgar is asking, like, do you mean change the lack mentality? That's why we have to let go and feel new and great things. Absolutely. Like, you cannot live into, if you live into a life of lack, the only thing that you're going to bring, because like you're looking for cheap price, the only thing you're bringing to your experience is cheap stuff. It's going to be like lack. But if you go after like something of quality, so for instance, instead of buying a lot of clothes, why don't you buy like a good piece of clothes that you really love and you really enjoy? And it's going to change your entire experience. So I really believe in quality in everything. That is why my services are expensive. Now, some people are going to say, no, that's not expensive. That's because they have the means for it, and because they know that it means something. But for the majority, when they hear like how much my service costs, they just, oh my God, that's so expensive. But it's not expensive. It's like, what is your life worth? Right? If you can live the life of your dream, because you're truly changing, because you're letting your old self die, what do you think that you're going to feel? Oh, that feels good. Thank you very much. So, like Bettina said something earlier. Bettina is saying What if I don't know exactly what I want to do? Well, you know what you want to do. Like this is something which is very interesting. Like most people are rejecting what they want because they've been told that that was crazy. But you know what passion you know what you really love, you know what you really would like to get involved and embrace in your life, but you don't give yourself permission, and in some cases to even think about it. So this is why it comes like that. I don't know what I want to do. This is normally where it comes from. But you've got to give yourself permission to start thinking about it, and then start having a little theory about how are you going to do that? Like, how can I do that? And then you start involving yourself even more and more with it. And as you involve yourself with it, then you're going to start seeing things. And there's a couple questions you need to ask yourself. Are you able to do this? Which, by the way, the ability, if you think about it, you have the ability to do it. Otherwise, you wouldn't even, that's not even crossing your mind. If I ask you, like, do you want to be a professional football player? Like, it probably never even crossed your mind. But if you're thinking about it, it's because you have the ability to do it. So the ability is there. It comes with the package. The true question is, are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to let your old self die in order to embrace that life? And if you can answer that yes to this, then that can become a goal. That can become like what you want to work on and what you want to become. Now, there's a bunch of tools. What I recommend you to do, Bettina, is like get in touch with us. You can DM me, or you can DM like Alice, and then we'll help you to figure that out. I mean, ultimately, it's pretty simple. And it's easy. Now, we make it hard on ourselves, but I came to the conclusion that it is easy with the right tools. I hope it's helped. Focus on growth and progress, not perfection. Decide on one first and move toward it. As you understand more about yourself, your goal will evolve too. See, Alice is she's a great student to start with. Good answer, Alice. I love as well what Edgar is saying. He says, like, if you're cheaping yourself out, you're telling the universe you don't need more, so it gives you less, right? The energy is about not needing more. If you are looking always for good deals, which is funny because there's some people that they're so proud of it, and then they're wondering why their life is not full of abundance. Are you always looking for a cheap deal? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is coming to your experience? Always cheap stuff, right? Thank you, Carlisle. Carlene, sorry, I massacred your name. Bon matin, Sébastien. No, you can invite me. Abdelkader. I don't know exactly what you mean there. Yes, Bettina, makes sense. Alice says she's learning from the best. Yes, indeed, we are all learning from the best. Any more question, anything that you want to clarify and you want to share, you want to embrace on this beautiful Monday morning? I love the Mondays. I'm telling you, love Mondays. And there's some people that they, Monday arriving, as a matter of fact, apparently like Monday morning, I think it's 9 or 10 a.m. This is where that most people are having a heart attack. because they're doing a job they hate. They're working in an environment which is not conducive to growth. They live for the weekend. So when they come to Monday morning, I mean, that's the end of the world. Actually, they already start having anxiety on Sunday afternoon because the weekend's going to finish. How bad it is to live this way. I mean, I understand it because I used to live that way. I used to feel that way, and I really didn't like it. And now everything I do is, I'm so fortunate. I'm so blessed, and I'm looking forward to wake up in the morning. I'm looking forward to do like something like this, which I absolutely enjoy. So how do you decide to live your life? Are you willing to let the old the old version of yourself dying, to embrace a new version, to embrace you, to embrace the power that you have, and to use your talent and ability, like to what you've been endowed? You know, all of us have been given talent and ability, but most of us are not using those talent and ability in their proper order. And when I say order, I'm using order because order is Evan's first law, which when you have order in your mind is calm, and you can make quick decision. You can make decision which like help you to move forward. But when it's chaos in your mind, and when it's chaos in your environment, which most people live that way, by the way, then they're wondering why they're not having the life that they're looking for. And it all starts with the order you are putting in your mind, in the way you're thinking, in the way that you're acting, in the life that you truly want to embrace. So what do you want? What do you really want? Ask yourself this question. Now this, I think I'm gonna read a little bit of Neville for the time we have left, because this is so good. And this is probably my favorite chapter, which is called The Power of Assumption, chapter 3, where it says, man's chief delusion is his conviction that they are cause other than his own state of consciousness. I mean, this first sentence tells you everything. Like, the delusion is we're thinking that there's causes other than our own consciousness. So what we're experiencing on the outside is the direct result of what's happening with the way you're thinking. So are you thinking in line to experience the life you want? Or you thinking all the time lack? You're thinking all the time, oh, I don't have enough, or I don't have this, or I'm missing that, or I don't have that client, or like I wish I would have the love of my life, or I hate my car. Or I mean, you're going on and on and on. I mean, we had our ex-neighbor which came to our place, and we had it was crazy, because for 15 minutes the only thing was getting out of her mouth was negative stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't listen to this anymore. How are you? Is it good? No, I'm living, I'm experiencing this. This is wonderful what's happening. No, complain. So what do you think your experience is going to be? Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. That's the delusion that everybody lives in. Wow, right? All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him, happens as a result of his states of consciousness. So everything that is happening in your life comes from the way you're thinking. Nothing else. So if you're thinking positively, and positively, it doesn't mean that you're positive with other people when they're there, is you're having this gratitude and this positive thinking all the time, especially when you're by yourself, especially when you are like in bed at night and you are just about to retire. Are you thinking about everything that you're missing, or are you thinking about you're grateful about everything that you have? Because that is a huge difference, guys. Because everything you have, everything that comes to you, everything that comes into your experience, everything you're experiencing is a result of what you're thinking. Alice is saying, order is peace of mind. Chaos puts you into a hurrying state, make it hard to think. I mean, most people do not think because they are into a chaos state all the time. So how are you going to think, right? Annie says, 2 weeks ago, I was invited to speak at an event in London, UK. And without even thinking, I accepted the invitation and booked my flights without worrying about finding the money. Big stretch. That is a great win. Wonderful. Good to hear that, Annie. Congratulations. Gratitude is what keeps the flow. Absolutely. Like gratitude, it's what connects you to the source of power and keeps that power coming toward you. You might have the shittiest life. If you're grateful, you're going to get out of it. If you're grateful for everything you have right now, no matter what it is, no matter if it's good or bad, no matter if it's positive or negative, if you're grateful for it, you will be given more. You will be given something so you can get out of it. If it's negative, if it's positive, then you should be grateful. But you should be even grateful, even if you are in a situation which it's not necessarily what you love and what you would like to experience. You should be grateful for that. Because if you are in a state of gratitude, you are inviting good in your life. And the good in everything will come to you. That is a law. Actually, I love the law of gratitude, which it says, I'm going to read it to you. Because I love the way it's written there. The law of gratitude says, it is the natural principle that action and reaction are always equal and in opposite directions, which is directly based on the law of cause and effect. So the law of gratitude is the natural principle that action and reaction are always equal and in opposite direction. So to go back to the title, if you let your present self die, action and reaction equal in an opposite direction. So you have to live with a new self, which is opposite and equal, right? Opposite, equal in opposite direction. But if you're holding on to your old self, what are you doing? What is the message you're sending out? You're not growing. On the contrary, like the opposite of holding on is to let go. So you're starting losing if you hold on to your old self. Does that make sense? Like understanding those laws, guys, will set you free. It will literally set you free. But if you don't, then like you're a victim of your environment. You're a victim of the world that you're living in. And then you're wondering why you're not getting the results that you're looking for. I left all the old things and stopped to make order. And now I have a wonderful life, plenty of joy and gratitude. So I inspire other people with my positive way of life because it is coming from my heart. I would love to make it my job, but I don't know yet how to start it. Get in touch with me, Ben. Like that is very simple. Like you can make it your new life. You need guidance. You need guidance. I was in your position like 6 years ago. That's like I made that decision 6 years ago. I just didn't know how to do it. And now I live with that life. And I'm absolutely blessed every single day with what I do. So guys, we're gonna stop this because maintenance is just going absolutely ballistic around me. I want you to reflect this week. I want you to think how you're gonna let your present self die today so you can start embracing that new life that you deserve, that you're meant to live, that is waiting for you to embrace and to inspire the rest of the world. Have a fantastic week, and then we'll see you next Monday. Peace out.